Alrighty, this is video number 1, and the title is Moving Your Motivated Sellers to Your Main Spreadsheet. Alrighty, what we want to first do is, as soon as you get done sending letters and envelopes out to the new motivated sellers you get from us, what you want to immediately do then is you want to take that list and you want to copy and paste it onto your main spreadsheet, okay? And the way you do it is, of course, you go into your real estate investing folder. That's probably on your desktop. You want to go into where the main spreadsheet is. You want to open up the main spreadsheet. And then what we want to do is we want to go back onto the desktop and open up the motivated sellers. Okay, and these are the motivated sellers we just sent letters and envelopes. So we want to, all we have to do to copy and paste them is watch my cursor. You want to start at the row below this header row up here, okay? You want to start on the row that you want to copy first. And if you put your cursor on the left, and like you can see, it's in between the 1 and the 2, there's an arrow that points right, okay? And if I left click on my mouse, it will highlight from there to infinity. Now let me bring up a pointer real quick. Working with data like this, it's so much simpler if you go to Walmart and buy that cheapo little $7 mouse with a cord. Remember that we used to use years ago? And all you do is you plug it into the side of your laptop. Using an external mouse like that, it's so much easier to do what I'm going to be teaching you to do and from here on out. So I'm just going to give you a little tip because I've gone through millions of bits of data and might as well save you a lot of headaches. So anyway, going back to here, once again we put our cursor between the 1 and the 2 because we want to copy row 2 first. And when the arrow's pointing across, we left click. It highlights from there to infinity. Everything is highlighted. You do not want to do this, that type of, copying. You want to make it simple to where you don't miss anything. So put your cursor there, left click from there to infinity. Now, keeping your cursor right there, left click again, and now let's drag your cursor. See how my cursor is going towards the bottom of the page? Drag your cursor all the way to the bottom, okay? To the bottom of the data. When you get to the bottom of the data, okay, let off of your mouse with your left finger, on the left click I mean, and what you want to do is put your cursor in the highlighted area, right click, and a pop-up box will come up and I'll hit copy. Now see how there's a dotted line going all around this? That means it's in copy mode. If you don't see the dotted line going around, you didn't copy it properly, okay? So that's a good indication. Then all you do is go to your main spreadsheet and you go to the first available row, and this is a new spreadsheet. So let's say that my first available row is underneath the last example. I click left into column A. See, it's column A, the first available row. I click left, keeping my cursor within that box. I right click in a pop-up box and I hit this paste right here, and everything pastes perfectly in. And just to make sure I got it in the correct rows, remember, column A is property address. So if we scroll down here a little bit, you can see it is the correct one. Now column O is your assessed value. So go down. Yep, got everything. Everything's good. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you also want to log the date that you mailed your letters to these people. It's very important because we want to check, hey, if we're noticing a week or two goes by and we're not getting a lot of phone calls from this area, hey, that throws up a red flag. So we want to make sure we put the date in there. So let's say that today's date is 1/9/2016. I hit enter, all right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor over that. I'm going to left click and a box is going to surround it. Then I'm going to keep my cursor inside that. I'm going to right click, pop-up box, go to copy. Okay, I'm going to go to the box below that. I'm going to left click. All right, I'm going to left click and hold down my cursor, And I'm going to drag the mouse towards the bottom of the page again. See, just like that. Go all the way to the bottom. Alrighty. And once it gets to the bottom, I stop, take my finger off the left click, keep the cursor in the box, right click, pop-up box, hit paste, voila. Okay, cool. And the last thing we want to do with this new list we're putting on our main spreadsheet is we want to put the letter D in the same row as we did this right here. So letter D, okay? Now, once I put letter D there, I want to left click with my cursor, so a box will surround it. Keep my cursor inside, right click, pop-up box, hit the copy. I left click the box below that, hold left on my mouse, drag to the bottom of the page, and I stop where it's level or even with the last one. Take my finger off the left click, keep the cursor in the area, right click, pop-up box, hit paste, voila. Now, if I want to see how everything is shifted towards sort of the left, the left of the boxes here, see it's in the left. If I want to keep everything the same, all you got to do is go to the very corner, okay, where the numbers meet the letters. This very corner area, you left click and it highlights the whole page, okay? It even highlights above it, alrighty? So all you got to do is go click left, it highlights everything, and then up here at the top, you got to make sure you're on the home tab, and you just click that, and it moves everything to the left, okay? And we can just check. And let's check on letter D if it's moved to the left. As you can see, it's moved to the left now. Alrighty, now, whenever you're working on your main spreadsheet, usually every 10-15 minutes you want to save it. Because when you're working on this, you don't want to accidentally touch a button or do something and it screws up the information, and now you're stuck. You got weeks and months or years worth of work. I've got 40,000 contacts on my main spreadsheet. And I mean, just envision, if you're sending out 100 letters a week, that's 5,000 contacts in a year. If you send out 200 a week, that's 10,000 contacts. So you can get a lot of contacts real quick. The last thing you want to do is lose all the valuable time you're putting into this to keep organized, okay? Because this is what's going to double, triple, quadruple, and even much more than that as far as your income once you start to get organized and you see how you can handle so many more leads with so much less time put into this business. It's amazing how it makes a 180-degree turn. All right, so here we go. We want to save. So we hit File on the top left-hand side. All righty, we want to open. All righty. We want to save as. I apologize. Keep it on computer. Hit browse. I'm doing it the long way. For those of you that really know what you're doing, you're probably saying, wow, he's doing it the long way. I am. I want to try to make it very, very simple, okay? And then I click my real estate folder. I click my main. And then what I do is I want to make sure I have a date ahead of this. So I will go 1/9/2016, okay? Now, if this was the next day and I'm working on it, and remember, I like to save it periodically, like if I saved it every 10 or 15 minutes just in case, then you just File, Save As, keep it on computer. We're going the long route to be saved. Go into Desktop, go into Real Estate Investing, go into Main Spreadsheet, and let's say it's the same date. So I don't change the date, it's the same date. I hit Save, this box is going to pop up. This already exists because it's the same day. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Okay. Now, let's say it's the next day. Let's say it's the 10th. Okay. Save as. Never save. Never save. Save as. Computer. Browse. We're going the long route, the scenic route. I then can put my cursor right here behind it and left click, and it'll line up right behind that 9. So I can just backspace and put 10. Okay. Then I hit save. Cool. Alrighty. It's as simple as that. All right, guys, we are on to video 2 next. I'll talk to you soon.